Hello and welcome to Sports Update. Today we'll be looking at the latest sports news from around the region and beyond.
We'll also look at college football across the nation and check out the latest happenings in pro sports. I'm Emily Conley.
And I'm Aiden Richardson. And this is Sports Update on EU TV.
We have the latest on Evangel sports, and later I'll be talking to an Evangel volleyball player about the start of the season. But first, let's go to Aiden with Evangel football.
The Evangel football team had a dominating performance this past Saturday night, defeating the Graceland Yellow Jacks at 62-0. It seemed as if Evangel could do no wrong that night, scoring touchdown after touchdown, as well as forcing 6 turnovers. Quarterback Dylan Decker had a terrific game, completing 12 out of 17 passes, resulting in 171 yards and 3 touchdowns. He also rushed for 29 yards, resulting in another score. On the defensive side, Ian Ari appeared to be unstoppable as he completed the game with 9 tackles. Following Ian was Dalton Cloyd, who had 8 tackles and a fumble recovery. This win results in a season record of 2-0 for the Evangel football team. 62-0, Emily, against a team that is historically a pretty good team. So my question for you is this just beginner's luck, or is this the beginning of a new era of Evangel football, a dominating era?
No, I think that they're having an absolutely phenomenal start to their season. 2 wins. You know, this is not something we usually see at the start of an Evangel football season.
I agree completely. And you know, when we're talking about the defensive side, tackle after tackle, how are we supposed to keep that up throughout the season without major injuries?
You know, coming into a sport, it takes aggression and motivation. So all we can ask for is that those players just, go out there, do their hardest, and just continue to play their game, right?
I agree completely. Let's just hope that this is the beginning of a great era of Evangel football.
Absolutely. There's another sport that's also doing really well right now. Evangel volleyball went 3-1 at the Labor Day Classic this weekend in South Dakota. The team pulled out 2 wins on day 1 against Briarcliff and William Jessup. Day 2 started with a clean sweep against Lincoln Christian, followed by a 5-set fight in the second match against NIA ranked number 8 Northwestern. Senior Jordan Stacy broke EU's digs in a career record during the first set against Briarcliff. Stacy currently sits at 2002 digs. Evangel will play University Sciences and Pharmacy at their home opener tonight at 7 p.m., Tuesday, September 7th. Evangel men's soccer has fallen short in their first 3 matches, with their latest against John Brown University. It appears that their team chemistry is improving as the season progresses. Drew Flippin scored the team's single point off a rebound on a Vitor Casatorto corner kick against JBU to give Evangel a 1-0 lead. While goalie Anthony Morales managed to stop 13 attempted shots by JBU, the score was tied in the 70th minute, followed by a tie-breaking goal in the 7th minute of overtime.
The Evangel women's soccer team earned their 3rd victory of the season with a win over the St. Mary Spires this past Wednesday. The game ended with a score of 1-0 as Madison Marr scored the lone goal of the contest. Meanwhile, goalkeeper Abby Schmidt led the team defensively as she turned away all 6 of the Spires shots on goal. With a record of 3-1 thus far, one would have to believe that Evangel could be in for a very successful season. Coming up later, we'll be checking some of the college games that were played this past weekend.
And in just a few, I'll be here with Sydney Murray from the volleyball team, who will tell us about the beginning of their fall season. Stay with us.
Open up your books to page 360.
Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
About inspirational quotes.
You gotta believe in yourself. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise, can you give me an example of an inspirational quote?
Don't play yourself. The key is to make it.
And who said that?
I did. Now that's a major key alert.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at getschool.com.
Give me a hand with that.
Oh, thank you. Did you see anyone drop those? You moved this? Thanks for helping us.
No problem.
You're welcome. We'd do anything for kids. Yet 1 in 6 children in the U.S. struggle with hunger. Help end childhood hunger near you. Learn how at feedingamerica.org.
Welcome back to Sports Update. Fall sports have started and it is quite different from where we were last year. Here with me today is Sydney Murray to talk about how this season is going so far. Thanks for being here today on the show.
Yes, thanks for having me.
So tell us, what's your story? How did you come to Evangel?
Well, my parents both went to Evangel and they graduated, and so then whenever I was looking for schools, there were 2 schools that I was choosing from, which was James River College and here. And so whenever I went on a overnight visit, that's kind of what solidified. I had been praying that God would give me peace about where He wanted me to go. And whenever I was here, this was the one place that I could envision myself, and I knew that God wanted me here, and I had a peace, and then my parents had a peace.
The community at Evangel is like none other, right?
Yes, it is, absolutely.
So tell me, what brought you to bring volleyball? I mean, that's such an important part of your life here.
Yes. Well, actually, so I'm a senior, and I walked on this year. And I did that because whenever I was playing intramurals, I started kind of getting excited, and I was like, oh, I miss volleyball, and I miss being a part of a team. And so at first I thought it was just kind of a crazy idea, and so I started, but it was just heavy on my heart, and I couldn't get it out of my mind. And so I started praying about it. I was like, okay, God, is this something you want me to act on? And so I still didn't have peace, and I met with the coach, and she gave me an opportunity, and I was like, I will never be able to play at this capacity again. And so I ended up taking it, and now here I am, and 3 years out of it, being able to play and be a part of an amazing team, and the girls are amazing.
Absolutely. So how has that transition been, from taking some time off and then just getting back into, playing a sport at a collegiate level?
Yeah, it's been something that's caused me to have to really dig deep because she told me I'd have to catch up on steroids, and that's literally what I've had to do. I've had to go to private lessons and get back into working out like a college athlete, and then it's just been one thing after the other, and I feel like it's been an easy transition in the sense of who the team, my teammates and the coach, have made that process super graceful because people have had grace for me being out of it for a while, but still encouraging me and challenging me to keep improving and getting better day after day. And that's been my focus, is one day at a time and just gonna get better one day at a time.
Absolutely. That takes a lot of drive to do what you're doing, so I applaud you.
Thank you.
Please tell me, what are your aspirations and goals for this season?
My aspirations and goals for this season is to just be the best teammate that I can be, and to be unified, to be able to play, and to make sure that we all have fun, and obviously everybody wants to win.
Absolutely. So tonight's your first game,
yes,
right?
Yes, we are all very excited about that.
Yeah, so what do you think is going to happen on the court?
I think we're going to be able to see more of what we're made of, because we get to play together and be able to go. I think it's going to be really fun.
That's awesome. So tell me, what do practices look like right now?
So practices consist of it's been more scrimmage, and also our drills are more serve receive, especially focusing on the big things that impact the game of volleyball. And then also, as we incorporate rotation and getting figured out what each person's role is, and everybody figuring that out together. And some of these girls are have never played before together, and so that requires you having to learn your team and learn their strengths and learn their weaknesses and where you come into play and everything like that.
So right now, as you're building connections, what do you feel is your strongest point as a team?
I feel our strongest point as a team is, one, there is such a drive to want to not only win, but win together. And what I mean by that is just like people want to improve and really fulfill their jobs and their roles on the team, and let it be something that's not just about one player, but about everybody. And I think that's really like a big deal.
Yeah, that's great. So your coaches, who are they, and how are they leading your team right now?
We have Carla and Ashton as our coaches, and then Coach Whitehead is over everything. And so they're all really amazing, and they are really good at being able to see, okay, like what can we do here? And they give both positive feedback, and whenever they critique you, they are also helping you just improve your game as an individual, which helps you overall as a team.
Right, and you just continue to build those skills.
Yes.
So what's your favorite part of the game?
Well, I'm a DS, so obviously I love passing. But I also like back row hitting as well, and so I really enjoy. I enjoy the defensive side because it's like this ball's not going to hit in my spot.
Right,
So,
you're going to take that away.
yeah.
That's awesome. So just tell me, going into two-a-days and now we're starting the season, usually it's a lot of practice. How are the teammates' bodies holding up?
The teammates' bodies have held up pretty well. There were a few injuries in the beginning, and I included in some of that. But most everybody is back to 100% as of today, especially. And then obviously you got a few nagging injuries, but those girls have been able to still push through. They get wrapped, and it's important that we go to treatment and recovery and take care of ourselves.
Well, that's great. We hope that you'll continue to just heal up and have a great season. Thanks so much for taking the time to be here today.
Thank you.
Coming up next, we'll look at the most impactful college games from the weekend. Stay tuned.
Thank you. That was good for you too.
All right.
The Georgia Bulldogs championed Clemson in the Duke's Mayo Classic 10-3 this weekend. Georgia coach Kirby Smart was impressed by his strong defense that allowed them to overcome the number 3 ranked team. The Bulldogs defense started strong with Nolan Smith and Nakobe Dean registering third down sacks on Clemson's first 2 possessions. The Tigers were unable to score until the last 9 minutes of the game. This loss puts Clemson in a tight position if they hope to make the 7th straight college football playoff appearance. A strong defense by the Penn State and Nittany Lions allowed them to prevail despite an offensively lackluster performance against Wisconsin this past Saturday. The Penn State defense intercepted Wisconsin quarterback Graham Mertz twice, halting the Badgers' offensive attack. Wisconsin took 4 trips inside Penn's 10-yard line without scoring. Noah Cain's 2-yard run for a touchdown in the second half aided the Penn State victory, bringing promise to a better start than the pandemic-delayed 2020 season. It was a huge upset when the Montana Grizzlies shockingly defeated the heavy favorite, the Washington Huskies. The last time these 2 teams clashed was back in 2017, with Washington destroying Montana in a 63-7 blowout. It seemed that Montana was out for revenge, and they achieved just that, besting Washington with a final score of 13-7. Montana quarterback Cam Humphrey helped lead the team with his smart passing. However, the story of this game will be of Montana's impenetrable defense, as they forced 3 interceptions as well as multiple other turnovers. You truly never know what might happen in a game of football. The NFL has posted its rankings in anticipation of the first game of the season on Thursday, September 9th. Topping the ranking is defending Super Bowl champions, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, followed by the Kansas City Chiefs, the Green Bay Packers, the Buffalo Bills, and the Baltimore Ravens. Rounding out the bottom of this ranking is the Houston Texans. Kansas City Chiefs' Patrick Mahomes is the #1 ranked quarterback. He is followed by players such as Arizona Cardinals quarterback Kyler Murray and Tampa Bay Buccaneers quarterback Tom Brady. It looks like we are going to be in for another. It's time now to announce the Sports Update Evangel Player of the Week. This week we highlight Tori Lowry. Our Evangel Player of the Week is volleyball player Tori Lowry. Senior Lowry is from Bentonville, Arkansas, and plays as Evangel's outside and right side hitter. On Saturday against Lincoln Christian, Lowry made the game leaders board by leading Evangel with 13 kills and 16 digs in the match. So far, Lowry has an Evangel career average of 96 sets, 310 kills, 334 digs, and 360 points. Overall, as a player, this is why Tori Lowry is our Player of the Week. Congratulations, Tori. Up next, we're going to take a look at the upcoming games for this week in Evangel. On Saturday, September 11th, the Evangel football team plays Culver Stockton. On Friday, September 17th, Evangel football plays William Penn. On Friday, September 10th, the Evangel volleyball plays Culver Stockton, and on Saturday, September 11th, they play both Tabor and College of the Ozarks. The Evangel men's soccer team plays on Friday, September 10th versus William Woods, and on Wednesday, September 15th, they play Baker. The Evangel women's soccer team plays on Friday, September 10th against Missouri Baptist, and on Wednesday, September 15th, they play Baker. Well, that's all the time we have today for Sports Update. I'm Aiden Richardson along with Emily Connolly. Be sure to join us next week as we bring you the latest in sports news. This has been Sports Update on EU TV.